Hi Stampin' friends. Tonight we're using the Sweet Treats stamp set. It doesn't have dies to match, so it's kind of interesting the way I've just kind of worked around that. I did a little bit of fancy cutting and I did a little bit of just not cutting. So you can see it has a caramel apple, which I assume would be for Halloween, but I didn't necessarily use that one tonight. It has an apple pie, it has like a fruit cake, or maybe it's a plum pudding, like some kind of pudding that like they have in England. And then it has a cupcake with a happy birthday sentiment. And then it has Bring On Christmas, which is an interesting little thing to say on your card, and a love you and a heart. So let's go ahead and get started on a couple of things. I did not get them colored with my blends, so we may look at some blends coloring as well while we're doing this. All right, so the first thing I was thinking when I was doing this was to choose a size that we could use in order to stamp onto a square. So what I did for that was I cut it to, I guess I should tell you, 3 by 4. And that leaves it a little bit of space on the top, but I find I didn't want to take a chance. So what I'm doing here is just stamping the base, which is like a cake plate. And then I'm going to stamp the top, which is like a cloche or a cover. I actually have a little tiny stand like this that I put cupcakes in sometimes, because Emma used to be quite the cupcake maker when before she went to college. So let me get this one kind of centered there. Wish me luck. I'm actually kind of hoping for a slight mistake. Let's see here. Oop, not that big of a mistake. Oh no, it's actually fine. Just for what I was wanting to show you, I have my black marker here. And so anytime that it doesn't completely cover or anything like that, not necessarily on this step, that was just my own mistake there, but it's a little difficult to get it completely lined up along this edge here, but it's maybe not worth the Stamparatus. So you saw how quickly I just went like that and sealed up what was going to look like kind of a problem on there, if that makes sense. Okay, so now I've done those two pieces, and I'm going to go ahead and stamp my pudding, or whatever you want to call this thing. Maybe it's a figgy pudding. That's what I was trying to say earlier. How they always say in Here We Come Wassailing, it's bring us a figgy pudding. I'm certain I've never had a figgy pudding. All right. So there's that. Okay, now I'm a little up from the bottom there. I think you can see that. But I kind of think that since it's kind of scalloped like that, we can, this is another mistake I wanted to show you. We can just fill that in and make it look like, I'm not getting that close enough, am I? And make it look like that is just the icing, an icing layer on top of an icing layer. Okay, so my plan with this now is I think I'm going to go ahead and color it. Maybe do all of my coloring at one time. So I definitely need some green, and I was thinking Mossy Meadow. Probably need a lighter Mossy Meadow than I'm reaching for here. That's dark Mossy Meadow. There's light Mossy Meadow. And then maybe a bright light shaded spruce. And then probably some olive. Let's see here. Maybe this light old olive. And then I definitely am going to want some reds. So let's get Dark Poppy Parade. Maybe dark real red. And then my favorite for a true crisp red is the light cherry cobbler. So I got that one out. And then I've got these pink cupcakes. So I think I want to get some dark and light Flirty Flamingo. There they are. And then let's see here. Who else do we have? I don't think any of those guys. So let me grab the other one and see if there's anything I need. Oh yeah, here's my light cinnamon cider. And let's see who else I was thinking. Pool party. Let's see, light pool party. I put these, I don't know if you aren't seeing these, I'm sorry. I put this masking tape on here to indicate that I need to buy a new one, or if I have already bought a new one, that the one that's in there is not necessarily in good shape. So just kind of my little clue to buy a new one. Then I'm going to get some dark So Saffron and some light So Saffron. And maybe, let's see, maybe a dark petal pink, so that I can try to come up with a nice golden brown for this pie. So this one, I cut out the pie. I cut it out around the cloche. So let me see, I can show you. I stamped it in Pool Party. So if after you've cut out, you've got kind of not a nice edge that you maybe don't like it, you can just take this marker, now this would be your water-based marker, and just kind of, although you could probably use the other one, and just kind of go around the edge there and add it back in if it had any problems that didn't look quite finished. Okay, so the sentiment with this one is, any way you slice it, I'm thankful for you. And I cut this out with one of the little So Sentimental scalloped edged ones. So let me go ahead and grab some adhesive. I'm gonna stick this down, just kind of imagine here. And I hope that I'm able to tie it in. I wanted these to have a kind of a kitchen look, some of them. So that's what I was going for here with the black and white kind of buffalo plaid. Gotta get this on white so I can see what I'm doing though. I am not doing well on that. Okay, there we go. Let's see how to get that even. Okay, so there we are. And this is kind of a thin designer series paper, so I think I'm going to just stick it down rather than use dimensionals. A lot of times I use dimensionals, but I'm only going to do the top and the bottom for right now, because I might want to add some ribbon or something under there. So I'm just going to kind of wait. Let's see, there we are. And what I'm doing here is lining it up against these two sides, and it looks like maybe this one is a little bit big. So what I can do is take my trimmer and just cut that off. I'm just using this little one because it fits on the screen and is a little more reasonable there. Okay. It looks like I got a little bit too much off, but you know, it happens. Okay, so now I'm ready to work on this. Let me turn it around where you can kind of see that part, because I don't need to look at that necessarily. Okay, so there you can see the little sentiment and the layer that I've made for it. So now let's try to color this and try to imagine some good colors for this. First thing I'm going to do is put my cinnamon cider on the little holes that are in the top, because I want it to be like it's a good cinnamony apple pie. All right. And then I'm going to go over these edges and try to make it look like crust. So we'll see how that goes. I'm going to do the top with it, and then right in here. Okay, so now I'm going to kind of smooth in the light So Saffron. See how that works. Oh, I'm glad you like this, Shauna. It's kind of cutesy. It's a little bit different than we've had in the past, so I had to try it. But this is what I bought instead of those squirrels that I also really liked. And I don't know how I convinced myself not to get the squirrels, but somehow I did. Okay, I'm going to put a little bit more just across here of the petal pink. Okay, now I think those two blended together to make, oh, it's got kind of a shadow. Okay, sorry. I think it blended together to make something that looks kind of like a golden crust in a way. So I've also forgotten to get my silver. So let me get some kind of a gray here to make my aluminum pan. Normally, I think my pie pans are actually just the color of either white or they're clear. So it's kind of different for me to imagine making the pie pan aluminum, but we'll pretend it's a quiche and I've bought the crust at the store. There we go. All right. So then my decision has to be what color I'm going to make this base. So I'm considering red and I'm considering blue, but there's no red or blue on it. So that's kind of tough. You could also probably use black. I think I'm actually going to go with the pool party. And I guess pool party is probably a light enough color that I could just change my mind. Let's see. Why decide between the two? Just have both. Yeah, for sure. All right. So I may end up buying that. You know, we're doing on stage right now and I'm seeing all these things from the new spring catalog and I'm like, well, how much do I love it? So I'll have to try to decide what I'm gonna do. Okay, so that's good enough. I kind of like the, oh my gosh, you guys aren't even seeing that. I'm so sorry. I will try to stick my arms out here and work out here. Apologies. So anyway, I think that makes a nice kitchen-y looking thing. And I will probably add, let me move these blocks because they're in the way of me getting to my ribbons. I will probably add the stripe because I think the stripe kind of offsets. If it was under here, it might be kind of cute, or maybe tie a little bit of ribbon because I think that the organdy is a little bit too see-through. So I think I like this one, or I might just put it under the sentiment. I think that could might make it pop, and possibly a layer of black along the bottom. Let me go ahead and cut this so I don't forget what I was doing later when I go to put it back together. But anyway, I think that makes a very cute and different Thanksgiving card. So, just my opinion. All right, now let's work on this little guy, which says, I stamped it like this and I put a tasty treat for someone sweet. So my idea or my plan for this was to, let's see, where did I end up with my sentiments? I had a whole stack of sentiments. And I think I didn't get over here with them. That's not good. They said happy birthday. They said all kinds of fun stuff. Well, you might know I would do that. How did I get that sentiment? Oh, because I was working on it. That's right. Okay. Well, my idea was this has a little heart, and I saw Stampin' Up! Put a little heart up here, and I thought that was super cute. And then it said, love you. And so I thought that would be adorable to put this little cupcake by, and then we'd have 3 as well. So I'm going to go ahead and do some coloring here and do some adhering just so we can get a better idea. Now this paper is the paper, and so is the other one, from the Hostess that's in the large catalog. So it has, you know, there's a lot of different ones in it, and I think this paper really looks kitchen-y. Like, and this is the one, see all the backgrounds. Every one of the backgrounds has the potential for black. So you can, you know, no matter what you're going to do, you could use black and white if you don't like one of the papers. I thought that was really wise because some of the colors are aggressive. So let's see, I got that stuck down a little too soon. Okay, here we are. Okay, so and I'll pop this up on dimensionals, definitely. But let's go ahead and give this a little bit of coloring. I think I want my base to be red. I'm going to start with my cherry cobbler and decide if it's too dark or not. This is the light cherry cobbler. Of course, that's the wrong end. Yeah. But this is supposed to be the Poppy Parade, and I don't think it is. I think it's real red. So that's kind of what I chose to use for my layer there. I looked away for half a second and got a little bit of the red under the plate. I'll be able to fix that with my color lifter later. Okay, so there's that. And now let's see. I think I'm gonna have blue, yeah, I think so. Blue cupcake papers. Oh, that would have looked really cute if I had cut that out of a pool party. If I had stamped it and done some paper piecing, and I may do that later, we'll see. That would have been so cute to have it a piece of pool party designer series paper and have it cut out and layered on here. That might have been the perfect thing. Okay, now I'm going to use the dark So Saffron as if it's a yellow cake right there, because I like yellow cake. It would be really cute to put a brown and make it a chocolate cake as well, of course. Okay. Then I think I'm gonna try, I guess I'll try the light pool party, the light flirty flamingo first. Yeah, that works perfect. I think I like that. Kind of a So then my plan, when I'm finished with this, will be to lift that up on dimensionals, put my little love ya and my little extra cupcake there. And then I may use the same paper, same ribbon, surely not. Surely I will find this one. Let's see, this one will probably look, oh yeah, that'll be super cute under the sentiment. So I think that will be perfect for this one. And this card really gave me a nice break from Christmas. It was kind of enjoyable to just do something other than Christmas for a while. So that's the second one. Okay, now on this one, I used the back of the Sweet Stockings with the dogs and cats on it. I thought this was super cute with the backside as kind of another way of making a Christmas cake. So I won't make you sit through me coloring this one, but I'm going to color this in kind of the same colors. And then on this one, so that I can tell which one it is, I'm going to go ahead and color my holly leaves light old olive. And that will remind me which one, because it's kind of strange to have olive colored holly leaves, unless your paper and your things that you've got adhered are as well. And then I will probably want to get out the dark cherry cobbler for these berries, but for right now I'll just use the light cherry cobbler. I could just go over it 2 or 3 times and get it dark enough. I think that will work. There we go. So then this one I'll add a Merry Christmas to it, and I'll probably color this red or something as well. And then I'll probably color I haven't shown you this yet, probably color this cake part or pudding part, whatever this little guy is, with the light cinnamon cider. Because we're assuming it's a spice cake. Like that. And then if it's a fruit cake, it probably has red and green fruit in it, because they always seem to. I just think fruitcake is very unusual. Not quite clear what it is. But okay, there we are. There we go. Because sometimes it's real fruits, and then sometimes they're like candy fruits. So I'm not really sure what we're going for there. So I'll just put some, I've actually tasted one that was called a fruit cake that was with plums. So that was actually pretty good. So maybe it's like that. let's see, let's get some green to put in there. Probably want to put some purple as well. Be just a yellow, like if there's pears in it. Okay, there we go. Oh, I guess I've done this much. I guess I'll just go ahead and color the cake stand. I think I'll color it green as well. And yes, I know that means I'm pressing down too hard. That's how I like to do it. I'm a weirdo. Okay, change this one. And you can see how fast I'm going on this. It's really not. These markers are so forgiving. I love to be able to scribble and it just still looks okay. Okay, so I've finished that one, and all I'll have left to do is probably add a sentiment. I did want to show you these matte decorative dots. Now, this is a really hard one to use sometimes because what they do is that they have a color variation that's like from Evening Evergreen down to the Soft Succulent. So I would never be able to use these for class because I couldn't get enough of the same ones. There are 3 giant ones, 3 medium, and 3 tiny. So I wouldn't be able to get enough of the right colors to use these for class. Not sure quite what Stampin' Up! Was thinking on that. But I wanted to show you that these darkest or second darkest red ones look really great in these, in the spots where these, and I'll pick it up and show it to you in just a second, where these berries are. You could certainly use red rhinestones, but when we're using cherry cobbler, I just thought that that kind of pepped it up. There you go, you can see that. There we go. And this one I think will be a lot of fun to play with later as well. Okay, I've got one more that I just have to show you. I'm going to show you, let's see how this one, oh, this is using, I'm just giving you some ideas with these because I wanted to show you, this is the old Heartwarming Hugs that was from last year that they carried over into this catalog. So I was thinking that would be a super cute one for a background. And then this one is one of the celebration papers, the one with the deer. And that would also still be really cute to make into and you might use khaki, use your crumb cake marker instead of using cinnamon cider as your cake base. All right. So this last one I have for you is one that I like to do a lot because it shows off our papers. This is our gingerbread and peppermint paper. So I chose Old Olive and Real Red as my card base. And then I put this layer. This one is the back of one of the ones that you cut out with. And then you can put this on the inside. Of course, I'll add a little decorative inside layer for signing. But this one is the back of the trees. So you can see how those are. I'm going to go ahead and put them in. So then now at this point, all I need to do is put some adhesive on the back of the red. Oops. I want to be sure and get these corners nicely. Don't want it to be loose. Okay, but right now I'm not going to press it down. I'm just going to kind of try to scoot it into the way I want it because I want it equal distant from the top. And then on this one, I thought it would be kind of fun to kind of, let me see if I can show you. I think I've just accidentally stuck it down, but I was going for making it in the actual middle. We don't usually do that. We usually have them be on this long thing, but since it's shaped like this, I thought that could make a nice, nice completely centered one. Okay, I kind of like that, so stick it down. And then just gonna go ahead and work on my, let's see here. I'm going to use the Mossy Meadow on this one, the light Mossy Meadow. See how that looks with this. I think that'll be fine. Just kind of wanted to give it a little more intense color than even the dark Old Olive, because it has a kind of some yellow in it. Okay, so there's that. I'm going to get my real red, whoops, which for me is light cherry cobbler. Here we are. And then I think I'll just make I'm going to go ahead and put some pieces of red here and some pieces of saffron, which will be our pear pieces. Oh, better do one more. And I'll add the green. All right, so there you can see that, and all I'll do is add probably a sentiment, possibly over here on the side, which will be what will hold this down. And then I will add some ribbon. Now you've already seen me use this ribbon with the ruffled red, which I totally love. I'm not big on any of our Mossy Meadow or Old Olive ribbons because the Old Olive has the blue in it, so that's kind of not my thing. Now I think this, hold on just a second, let me get it loose. It's one of the ones I tape up. It's actually supposed to be a pink and gold ribbon, but I think it actually looks kind of good with the cinnamon cider. So that's our last option for tonight. So this is one of the cards that does the little flip open that I centered it. That's how it's different than normal. And this one with the back side of the puppy paper. This one for a birthday. And this one for Thanksgiving. So I think that's a cute one that is totally does not look like the colors of a Thanksgiving card. I appreciate you all watching. Thank you so much and have a great weekend. Bye-bye.